I chanced on a video where young people are turning plastics into fuel. So there are things to do with the plastics release. It's just a matter of, as a collective, finding these people and giving them the resources to be able to do more. Then whether we use more plastics or not, we know we have a use for it.
Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Ocran. Welcome you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, the Multimedia Group and Graphic. Today we continue changing narratives, and we are happy to have in the studio two incredible young men, part of the group Buz Stop Boys. They are not just clearing rubbish from our gutters, but are changing narratives about filth, about waste management, about sustainability, and about the environment. Hineba and James, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What a blessing to have you finally in the studios. Congratulations for your being nominated or for winning the MTN Heroes of Change Sustainability and Transformation Award. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for what you do. So Hineba, let's start with you. Hineba Kojo Safu.
Yes.
What inspired you to step out on this journey for?
Okay, first of all, I say thank you to you and to everybody out there who is watching. I think the whole concept or the whole journey of Buz Stop Boys is a yearning zeal to also support or contribute to national development. Especially for me, I've been a fan of history and I try to look back to who we were as an African before today. And from my looks and from my readings, I could realize that we have been great before. In fact, if you look at all the way from even Egypt, where a lot of the stories began, it was us doing all the things back then. So today I ask myself, what has gone wrong and why are we so much more or less like always looking outside for solution? There are more we can do inside in our environment, because we have a lot of things that once we pay attention to, we'll be able to, based on those things, change a lot of things that is going wrong in our country. Also understanding that generations go, generation come. Today we are here, but 100 years on, we won't be here. What else can we also do that will impact those who will come after us? And also understanding that life, the foundation of life is the environment. When the environment goes wrong, whether rich or poor, all of us will be going in and out of hospital on a daily. So how about being deliberate about change? You know, I grew up in the 90s and I saw how things were. And I can say today, fast forward in 30 years, things are rather going wayward in terms of sanitation. I remember back in the days of town council, people were a bit more responsible when it comes to filth. But fast forward today, people throw rubbish anywhere, anyhow, and all they do is to point fingers and to call who is in charge. But for me, wanting to be deliberate about change, also understanding that social media is quite very powerful. At least I can tell the story of how telenovelas have quickly pushed some Ghanaian mothers to name their children after some characters like Marie Cruz and all of that, meaning that infographics are powerful. So if there's a way we can also deliberately use content of environmental sustainability, consistently pushing it to the faces and to the minds of the people, then clearly in 10 years we can get some young people also becoming more better Ghanaians than we are today.
Was this whole, so for anyone watching, you stepped out with brushes, brooms, and started cleaning the gutters by yourselves, not authorized by anyone, just doing it. But did you have this multi-layered strategic concept in your mind from day one, or did it evolve as time went on?
Well, for me, growing up has always been my focus, big one, has always been what can we also do to portray Africa in another light to the world. And that is basically the burning desire inside of me. It wasn't necessarily the environment, but the environment came into the picture from my consistent visits to the seaside. and I always get to see a lot of trash in the sea. From my observation and consistently, I realize that it's not necessarily those coming to the beach that are creating the mess, but the irresponsible behavior in the communities is what contributes to the chunk of the trash ending up at the seaside, because the sea is the final receiver of every dirt in the community where people push their trash into running waters. The sea receives it all. So if we can
and I hope you know that the sea doesn't only deposit it in Ghana. Other countries also get some of the rubbish that we dump, and it's as bad as that.
Yes, so it's more or less like harms all of humanity. So from that observation, I was asking and wanting to help. So that came the idea Buz Stop Boys, purposely to be able to get back to the communities, to begin to tell people to be responsible. Because malaria, cholera, typhoid, name them, they don't care who is paying tax and who is not. So if all of us can be a bit more responsible with the sachet and the bottled waters we are drinking about, then clearly we will get some change. If not in this generation, those who will come after us will be able to have some better environment, to get some better inspiration, because I know cleanliness inspires positive inspiration that will eventually also give us a lot of genius coming in from the Africa, probably to match the story for Sajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and all the great people who have portrayed Ghana in the light of positivity.
There's this smile on your face when you're talking. You seem to be enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, really. That's for me. That's how I see life. Whatever you do, just add joy to it.
It tells.
It's only in the excitement of what you do that will also attract people to come around.
So creating. I mean, I'm going to come to you, James, in a minute, but creating a rubbish collecting movement that generates excitement and content is an achievement, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because it is because you love what you do.
Yes.
James, let me come to you. You love what you do, but people sometimes are likely to ask you what's in this for you. Your background in business administration. I mean, there's a likelihood that people would ask you, so why are you doing this? How do you respond when they do?
Well, I believe the environment is holding us like 100% when it comes to our lives. Without the environment, there is no MTN Heroes of Change that we recently were awarded to. Without the environment, there is no business administration students. Without the environment, there is nothing. So my brother came to me and he explained everything to me, meaning that I have to prioritize environment. So I am doing this to save myself and anybody around me. So we are basically doing this to save the environment. So we always say that God uses 6 days to create the world, and if we know the kind of power God used to create it and seeing what God has created going bad, I mean, as a Christian, I have to be mindful of that. I have to care. So
the issue of faith and responsibility are at the back of your mind.
Yes.
Let me push on and ask you about family and about friends. Did you get pushback at the time you got Hiniba is a very convincing character, so I'm sure he told you a good story. But tell me, when he told you, what were you doing at that time in your life?
So I was in a clinic. Sorry, I was with a clinic.
Right.
Joyful Attitude. And then
that's where you're working.
Yes. So I think 2 days before my brother would come to me. This is the first time I'm saying this. My contract was terminated. So when he came and he explained everything to me, trust me, it was actually one of the best ideas or the best decisions I've ever made and I've ever heard from him.
Did you feel that it was like divine, that the timing was just coinciding with the
that was after 2 weeks, after some time. So I was like, Charlie, why? What's up? What do go on? So I started, doing the math myself. I am someone, I don't like sitting at one place. So I actually understand that where I am, I'm actually the best place. Yeah.
Tell me about a day in the life of Buz Stop Boys. How did the name come about in the first place?
Honestly, the name came with the idea, and the name all came Like basically, I was from the seaside. I'll keep going there. I'm somebody that goes to the seaside almost every Monday. That happens to be my soul day. So one Monday morning in July, because it will be 2 years exactly 5th of July, I got there as usual, asking myself the obvious: how can I help to just bring out all the debris from the sea? That was when something dawned in my memory or in my mind, saying that go and do Buz Stop Boys. So that was it.
So the name was inspired.
Yes, so that was how the name came about. And the only thing I did differently was the arrangement of the alphabet, but the name came with the thought.
So you get a divine brain wave 2 years ago. Start Buz Stop Boys. And what did you do? You went to a bus stop and started cleaning.
Yeah, so when I got home, then my girlfriend, now my wife, I just told her what is has done on me to do. And because I'm also a civil engineer by practice, so I had some.
What does it mean?
Like I'm a civil engineer, but I didn't go to school for it. I learned on the job, and that's how come I'm a civil engineer by practice.
When you say you learned on the job,
yes.
give me insight into the backstory.
Okay, so I was, for me, even was in Legon in 2016. I completed in 2016, but we knew
what did you do?
I did CYP. It was a diploma program actually.
CYP,
Commonwealth Youth Program.
Okay.
So in my days in Legon, I had my own taxi. That off lectures, I hit down and do my own papapa. So fast forward, I bought Uber. The way I was Toyota Get, so I had 2 cars at the time. So in 2019, at a point, I said, "Oh, these Uber people, you can drive like 30 minutes, go and pick somebody for a short distance and give you 5 cedi." I'm like, this is kind of time wasting. So I had to give up completely on the whole driving thing. Sold the cars, and I called one of my big boss, who is called Kwabena Asempa. So he is a civil engineer originally. So he was the one who gave me the opportunity to work with KIMG rather. They are the same people who constructed the Circle Dubai Road.
Hey.
Then they were on a project inside Bogatanga Tos Polmakum, that is Ghana-Togo border.
Right.
110-kilometer road plus 3 major bridges, one on the white water and the red water. And there's another one, I've forgotten the name. So I went there as a driver basically because I've been driving after school. And in the process of driving, I was first with the survey department. I was learning the total station, how to do the survey. Along the line, I was moved from driving. Then I was sent to the concrete site to go and basically be part of the concrete, the batching plant. So from there, I learned on the job, and I became the supervisor for the whole batching plant. And so I basically ended up becoming a civil engineer by practice, knowing what concrete, which class is good for what, and what is not, how to even test concrete and prove that indeed it's what's the strength and all of that. So I know all of this because I learned on the job, not like I have certificate for it.
Well, I agree with the president of the Ghana Association of Engineers. Don't come and hustle as this one. It is by practice. It is not in the lecture hall. So tell me, and then with that kind of background, you get an idea, and you are fortunate that your girlfriend, now your wife, says thumbs up for you.
Yes, so she basically supported, and that was how the whole story began.
What was the first bus stop you went to?
Sakama Bus Stop. It's just after Malam Market.
Why? I know that famous.
I stayed at Malam Junction at the time, so basically it was more or less like piloting. So we were seeing what will work and what not. And at the time I was even shy. People see you over the roadside and they started calling you all sort of names and all of that. But then our big focus was to be able to change the mindset. Because for me,
so you pulled James before you went to Sakaman, or after Sakaman?
No, after Sakaman.
So Sakaman, were you alone?
I was with my girlfriend at the time.
Wow!
Yes, I started with her the very first day.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
How
did it feel? I mean, how did it feel?
It was some way, especially because people look at you and the way we perceive people who clean as good for nothing people, excuse my friend, but that's how people see us. So I was always in cap trying to cover up my face.
So then why are you doing it?
Well, with time I realized that whether good or bad, nobody, even people in all the classic position, they still get negative comments. So that is life. It's both positive and negative.
So you found the strength?
I just need to focus on trying to raise people to be more responsible. And the shy is gone.
Wow. Then after the first attempt, they said, let me go pick this man and build a team.
I had a couple of boys. We've been moving around for over At the time it was about for 7 years. We've been moving around as in boys, in brothers. We do some sort of comedy together. It was more like a church group. So they were the first, which James is part of the group. So I basically informed him that this is what we are doing, or I want to do. If you guys are interested, let's involve all the guys. And we did
James,
involve.
the first I told you, tell me, did he sound a bit crazy?
No, you see, I actually saw a lot of opportunity in what he said. I mean, after the explanation, after explaining the vision and how he wants us to do it, we actually did something, at my area, just behind my house.
Where?
And then
Which area?
Odoko official town.
So it's a Sakaman, Odoko.
Yeah.
How did social media respond when you started?
Well, initially people see you cleaning and they don't even they feel like we are okay. So the first tag was Zoom live and all of that, and they were not minding. Nobody was minding.
You're not branded with your Buz Stop Boys shirt like this.
People see us and some of them say Nyamin Shram and all of that, but it was cool. For me also proud to that. I also understood that I've been observing the social media and I realized that a lot of positive things don't get the attention. So we're basically trying to give options to the younger generation to say that indeed you can watch all the other things that is happening, but how about also doing something that will inspire somebody to also do something that will help or become a big change to all of us.
And that is exactly why you are here, because this show is about changing the narrative, showing that there is another side to this country than what often gets the mileage and the traction. But you managed to get that positive story out there big time, because I've been following for the past 2 years, and I think one of the very early ones that you did, I noticed it and I just kept watching the story. So I was not surprised at all when the nomination came up for the Heroes of Change, and it's just an honor to see that you won and you were celebrated for the category that you were recognized in. But let's still travel the journey a bit more. So you got James, and who else did you get?
And Kwame Ban, he's also immigration officer at DSI for that matter at airport. So let me say commercially, he was hitting the social media. We started from Kaswa. At the time, he being an immigration officer doesn't have all the time, so we're using his off days to determine when we go on location. So we got him, and there was another guy who was also completed Legon and was basically doing a bit of videography, trying to find his feet. Now he's in the US anyway. So there were about 7 to 10 people that I spoke to, or I did the meeting with in general.
All of them boys.
All of them boys.
Plus your girlfriend.
Yes.
Wow.
But on the day of action, I think 3 of us were doing the job, and one guy, which is the one in US now, who was taking the video. So of let me say commercially or coming on social media, we were 4.
Tell me about the power of storytelling, because one person can clean the gutter and somebody will say Nyamin Shrao and then also threw a few coins at you. But you did the same thing, and yes, Nyamin Shrao came, that's what Yamida, he still shy you, but beyond the Nyamin Shrao, it created a buzz that has gone around the world. The president has given you recognition, giving you money. I mean, I know that the BBC covered your story, etc. We'll talk about all that. But for you, what did you do differently?
Well, what I did differently was understanding that no matter how much you clean, it doesn't solve the problem.
Okay.
It's about getting more people to understand that you don't have to sit in your vehicle and throw your pure water sachet on the street. That is the starter. So even from where the inspiration came from, my big focus was to be able to hit the communities and begin to change the narrative, like you rightly said. So changing the narrative comes with a mindset, because the only difference between us and the other wealthy countries is a mindset problem. We are so bent on saying that, I need to go to the US in order to be able to rock shoulders with others. But this US and this Canada, they are just humans like you and I who believe that there's no other place better than their country. So they spent all their time making sure that they put the country's perspective always first. So even if you can be the minister for whatever, once you go against the laws and the rules of the country, the whole nation will come at you. So I was looking at an angle where we all begin to understand that, yes, somebody will clean. Yes, it's somebody's responsibility. But it doesn't mean that you should bring your trash from your house and then place it on the pavement and then just walk away and go. That doesn't speak well of you as a human, not even as somebody who believes in God. Because according to the Bible, cleanliness is the only angle or the only thing that will guarantee your journey to God. So if we understand that narrative,
This one, I must find the Bible verse.
well,
I'm going to come back to you.
Corinthians, 2 Corinthians.
I'm going to come back to you. So I'm going to the Bible because the way I'm going, I see we must do some analysis today in the scriptures. But I'll come to you on that. Let me talk to you, James Safo. By the way, you're Safo. Are you related?
Okay, so one of our biggest motivation is service to mankind, is service to God, and that is something that was installed in us by Apostle Dr. Engineer Kojo Safo, of whom this name Safo came from. We were all named after him.
So you both were named after Apostle Kojo Safo.
Yes, sir.
So you have Kojo Safo in your name. So you are Heniba Kojo Safo, and you are James Safo.
Yeah.
James, what's the middle name?
Yao Safo.
James Yao Safo.
Yes.
So James Yao Safo, tell me the logistics that goes into when you appear on the streets. I mean, yeah, you are cleaning, but do you buy the equipment, the logistics, the soap? Help me to understand how it works.
So when we started from Kaswa, we bought brooms, I think 2 or 3, and he made mention of one of our brothers, one immigration officer, DSI and Disakaba. We actually borrowed his mom's rake and a broom.
Yeah, Rick and Shabu.
And Ocran Jamaya.
You have to get pay back.
So that's how we started. So gradually, a lot of people started donating to us brooms and rigs, shovels. So we met one man, A1 Diesel, Mr. Aldis. He's at Spinters Road. So he bought our first Aoboya for us. He counted 23,000 Ghana cedis.
I like the way you say he counted it.
Yes.
Or can he counted it.
Yeah. I remember that day. It was 200 cedis. 200 cedis.
He counted it.
Yes, 23,000 Ghana cedis.
And then he gave it to you to go and buy the Abuya.
To go and buy
How
the
did it
Abuya.
feel? Did it feel like a validation of your vision and the work?
Yes. At that moment, I realized that whatever we are doing is making an impact somewhere. I always say that now, because of social media, you don't have to come by the roadside before you sell. You can sell at your corner, or you can, do something at your corner and still talk about it through social media, and people will still, see you and patronize you. Yes. So since then, a lot of companies have been coming to us, have been donating to us. The second Abuboya, the President Mahama gave us 50,000 Ghana cedis, which we use some of the money to buy the Abuboya, and we use
23,000.
No, that one we use 29,000.
Oboya price has gone up.
Inflation.
9,500.
Oh, so you have to add extra 6,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we use the rest to buy, to top up on our mini excavator, which we recently finished paying. So that's how we've been getting our tools. And for now, I can proudly say we have about 60 shovels plus. The brooms, it comes there need to break, but we still have a lot. Rakes, mini, headpans. So
When I come back from this break, we're going to go into how big the operation has become in terms of people, in terms of resource, in terms of footage, in terms of response, in terms of even the joy in your heart at knowing that what started as a small seed is becoming a mighty tree. I'm going to also tell you how my own mindset changed in the year 1998 about rubbish. That is after we come back from this break. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Ratio Foundation and proudly sponsored by MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. Let's take a break. Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system. backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, your advantage.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skills sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Arabo Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Ocran A and at Albert N.E. Ocran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this amazing conversation with my friends from the Buz Stop Boys. We are trying to unpack where the vision came from, the first broom that was bought, and how this story has unfolded so far. A man and his girlfriend cleaning in front of Sakaman bus stop and wearing a cap so no one will see. But now they are on big stages and they are being celebrated for the impact they've created. How did they move from that shy moment to this big moment where every platform is opening their doors to hear their story? Let me say this is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program, itself a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Let me share with you the Enterprise Advantage tip for today. And the question for the day is, can I use transition services in a funeral that is outside Accra? Can I use transitions if the funeral is outside Accra? And the response is that transition services can be used in every region of Ghana. Kindly visit their website for details on smart burial packages if your funeral is outside of Accra. This is brought to you by the Enterprise Group, and the number to call 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. Let me also mention that the Ghana Grows call center is available to you to find out details about opportunities for young people, especially young women aged between 15 and 35, in the sectors of agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. Find out what others are doing in these sectors. Find out programs that are being rolled out every single week to open up decent, dignified, and fulfilling work in these sectors. And once you can call or WhatsApp this call center, you'll find out more and more about why many young people, especially young women, are making the decision to go into these sectors. So call or WhatsApp 030-8255-775 and you will reach the Ghana Growth Program for more details. Talking about young people, let's switch on to sustainability and highlight the work of K. Kwabna Limited. They aim to redefine luxury through sustainable creativity by creating exquisite sculptures from recycled materials. They transform discarded metal parts, electronic junk, and found objects into masterpieces, giving life to each piece. The brand appeals to connoisseurs who appreciate both sophistication and sustainability. So you see, others are also doing work in these sectors to ensure that we create a sustainable world. So you can reach K. Kwabna Limited on 053-184-6823 or email kwabna@kkwabna, that is KAEKWABNA.com. So kkwabna.com is the website and kwabna@kkwabna.com is the email address to reach them. Let's come back to the studio and to my friends at Buz Stop Boys, Hiniba Kojo Safo and then James Yao Safo. Name inspired by Apostle Dr. Kojo Safo, but they are making their own impact by transforming the environment. So World Environment Day was 16th of June and is celebrated every year to, as it were, throw light on environmental problems the world is facing at present and spread awareness about just the need to protect our environment. I was watching Facebook, a video on Facebook today, and I saw a guy jump onto the back of a whale that had been caught in some junk that had wrapped it up and it was threatening its life. And it just struck me that this is probably about the 10th video I've seen, not in the very recent couple of weeks, about how refuse from somewhere, rubbish from somewhere, something in the sea is threatening the life of some animal or creature, and their lives have to be saved, or that is it. How big is this issue that we are all confronting?
Well, I say very, very big, because as it stands now, there is a projection that is saying that by 2050, which is exactly 25 years from now, we are going to have 10 times more plastics in the oceans than fishes. Meaning that if we don't do anything now and raise more awareness to begin to put people on their toes, we are going to get to a point in life where we destroy or kill all the aquatics. And in the return effect is what will harm us as humans, because we are the consumers of all the fishes in the oceans, and here we are destroying them with the plastics that we generate. I also did this research that says that in a year we have almost over 25 million tons of plastics ending up in the ocean. So it's really, really huge, and it's really, really a big issue. But in Ghana, it's already bigger than we assume, because as we speak, go to Jamestown, go to Langma community, fishermen return from sea, and they are basically trying to figure out where the fishes are in the plastic that they bring about. So they fish plastics more than they fish. They get fish.
Yeah, I like that. They fish. So, I was, and there's a link between policy. There's a link between behavior and then experience or outcomes. I had a privilege last year of being in Kenya. And Kenya does not allow plastics in any form. You can't buy with a carrier bag. No plastics. Even their bottles, water is sold in glass bottles. They recycle very heavily. And I went to a particular tourist resort by the beach. And one of the highest earning tourist experiences was they putting you in a boat called a glass boat. So underneath the boat is glass, and literally they will take you out to sea, and you can see clearly
wow.
the seabed and see the fishes swimming around, and you pay money for just seeing a clean sea and clean fishes swimming around freely. And that whole enclave, fishing is not allowed there. You have to go beyond it. So it's a tourist attraction. Just come and watch fishes swimming in a clean sea. And I'm just thinking of what you're seeing and seeing the contrast is very, very sharp. Do you think we must change something about our lifestyle, our policy, to be able to catch up with situations like this?
Yes, we really have to. Because even talking about plastics, or waste in general, there's actually nothing called waste. Because even the oxygen that we are breathing in is a waste from the trees. But then we take it in as oxygen, and that is what is sustaining us. It's the same spirit if you look at recycling, plastics, reuse clothing, and all of those. If we can actively have a community recycling center in every community where people send their plastics and then get recycled, then we see that the problem will be solved one way or the other. I chanced on a video where young people are turning plastics into fuel. So there are things to do with the plastics really. So it's just a matter of, as a collective, finding these people and giving them the resources to be able to do more. Then whether we use more plastics or not, we know we have a use for it. Because in Singapore, they have done same, where they are burning their waste in a highly density or high temperature, for something like a structured furnace or something, where the heat that is coming out is turned or used as electricity. Even Canada has also, either Canada or one of these European countries has also done same. I recently saw somewhere on social media where they are even saying they have lost, like they have shortage of trash to be able to transform and do what they do. Sweden, yes, exactly. Meaning that if we can even find a way where we do our trash and do it nicely, we can even export it and then get some returns.
By exporting, we can do the same here.
Probably.
So let me come to you. From 7 people at in the environs of Odoko and Sakaman, how big is Buz Stop Boys today, James?
Buz Stop Boys has really grown to become something great, changing a lot of mindsets. Personally, I see Buz Stop Boys, doing one of the biggest role of some other, should I say, entity or other,
How many people do you have now?
Right now, we have about 160 people on the platform, but actively, if you go for any location, it's from 35 to 50 people. Yeah.
So for those who may not have seen your action, I was watching you the last time with Woody Maya. It was a nice one. That activation did some fundraising as well. Yeah. It was the first time I've seen that part of it, but it was just beautiful. So let me just ask you, on days when you go on location, how often do you go?
3 times minimum in a week.
Thrice a week.
Yes,
so is it only in Accra?
As we have a team in Kumasi, have a team in Apam, have a team in New Abrim, and another team too is being born somewhere in Damango and all of that. Like, there are a lot of youth are actually calling, wanting to have their version of Buz Stop Boys, and I'm basically telling them that we can't be everywhere, but if you and your colleague around the place are really ready, and
just like a franchise now,
so you can either use the name Buz Stop Boys or find your own name. It's all about the environment.
Okay. How do you earn income?
Well, I say we are as part of thinking sustainability, well, that's what we are pushing. We should also be thinking about Buz Stop Boys sustainability. So we are actively trying to push more on our YouTube, so that when the YouTube pays something small, we can use it to run and even to cater for our basic needs. It's not like Buz Stop Boys will pay James or pay any other person, but at least when we are out there working, what you eat and before you get back home, your transportation, those things are also sorted. And also to extend it, because after involving and people coming around, we realize that a lot of them are post-national service graduates who are jobless. So we also have the pro Buz Stop Boys, which is a waste management business. So that if somebody decides to say, okay, I've seen what you guys do, my own way of supporting is to give you this contract or this business, then the same people will come and do that, get paid, so that at least you can have TNT to come volunteer all the time.
So looking back 2 years ago to how you felt when you embarked on this journey, do you feel as strongly now as you did at the time? Hiniba.
Yeah, I can say well, and I feel like I don't feel really strong gas in the energy to keep pushing hard, but I feel like people are getting the message, so we just have to be dynamic so that we can add other angles to it and to make it more lively where people are cleaning. So that's why we have music playing all the time that we are cleaning, so it doesn't get bored. We still enjoy whilst the silting drains or going under the covered part of the drain and all of that.
Let's talk about partnerships. Do you have companies, NGOs, individuals, influencers that are partnering with you on this journey?
Yeah, we have a lot. The big one who has always been around is Verna Water. Verna has been giving us water every time. Even if you should call Verna, we are here today, he'll bring us at least not less than 20 packs of bottled water. And aside from that, to Flora paper. They're also giving us support with washing powder. So, for example, the Vandals, the old and new Vandals, we do partnership with them where we had to clean around the Legon Hospital vicinity. Enterprise Life has once been a partner. Actually, they bought us 10 solar-powered street lights. Because as part of what we do, we're also saying that we also have an initiative called Lightening Up the City, where we basically solicit from individuals who care about the environment to give us solar-powered lights, so that at least we take advantage of the sun and also put lights at some vantage points that are very dark. So for partnership and collaborations, I think we have done more. We've really lost count of how many.
Interesting that's happening. Even for me, I'm finding out more about your group than I knew before, and I think I followed you for 2 years. So on a day like this that the whole world is listening, please unpack the key things that Buz Stop Boys does, because I was on the jury for Heroes of Change. I read, I watched the videos, everything, but you can never tell the full range or breadth of what your group does. So you're saying that. So what's your mission in broad terms? What's your mission?
Okay, so the mission is to promote clean, green environment through patriotism, volunteerism, and selflessness.
Are you a politician?
Oh, no.
Say it again.
It's to promote clean, green environments through patriotism, volunteerism, and selflessness. That is the whole mission. And inside of it is where we have the greening aspect, where the median, for example, La Paz to Kashima, the median is just dirty, plastic here and there, but we can transform the median, put flowers, put carpet grasses where and when needed to make it beautiful, so that at least, or driving on the streets, you feel so refreshed driving. And inside of it is also what we have, or what we call the Lightening Up the City. It's also an initiative where we are basically asking people to support us with solar-powered lights to be able to put up at some vantage points that are dark. For example, Achimota Forest area, always dark. There is so many stories where people are getting robbed and all of that. But at least if there's enough light, at least the robbery might still go on, but it will be limited in a way. And then inside of it is also another aspect of what we do, where we basically trying to also highlight people who are doing sustainability. For example, there's this lady among us who uses used ties. She can transform them into chairs and all the amazing things. So basically trying to, I should say in a nutshell, I say it's a problem-solving organization where anything that is a problem, once it is solvable, we go in there and then do our best.
But mainly the area of environment, cleanness, sustainability.
Yes, sir.
And that's it. Let's talk about the international. Let me come to you, James, on the international impact of your work, the BBC and people that reach out to you. Do you get calls, people reaching out from outside Ghana?
So the calls are mostly directed to him. But I know that we get a lot of calls from BBC. We did one interview with DAW TV, I think twice. Yes, and we've had some kind of international recognition. I think one day at Alajo traffic light, a woman from USA came to give us some citation, some certificate of
recognition. That's from Rochester.
Yeah.
Okay.
The mayor of Rochester actually awarded us, and that lady brought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been having this international recognition.
There was one of your activations where a young person from outside the country came to join you. Which one was that?
It was at
so many times
University School.
So many times.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of them.
One at Ajengano basic school. 1, 2 at for him.
Fadama.
Yes, Fadama,
Yeah.
GBC, and Osu, the Indian.
Yes.
So when these international people who are not non-Ghanaians come and join you, what do they say?
They are so amazed about, young Ghanaians doing this with no pay. And we always make them understand that when the last tree dies, the last man dies.
And they relate to the vision.
Yes. And if you understand that, that means that wherever you are, you have to be mindful about the environment. You don't have to be like you are pointing fingers on people whilst they are not doing their job or something.
Let me come to you, Hiniba. On an average day, when you hit the road, what happens? How long do you spend in terms of hours? Give me a feel for somebody who's not seen it live and colored.
There's always a starting point between 7:30, 7 and 7:30, but the finish line is always not known.
Wow.
But the aim, for example, we figure out 100-meter choke
Stretch.
drain.
Okay.
And to be able to finish the job, we don't even, it doesn't push us to go because our activity is such that we don't have to repeat the same place twice. So whatever it takes to be able to
You have to
completely
finish it.
do that job. I think the highest or the latest we've left the locations around 5:30 p.m.
Wow.
That day we were on the Blekuma Fan Milk stretch. There was this long stretch. Beneath it is pavements, but all filled with sand, sachet, and there's some trees or weeds are growing over there. And you have to clean almost like 100-meter long. Not just cleaning, but you bring everything out, you sort the plastics out, suck the weeds out, sort the sand out. It's a whole process that takes a lot of time.
And what next? When you sort it out, what next?
Okay, so the plastic sorted will be sent to the clean ones. We keep them. We are now looking for machines to be able to stretch them into, little pieces like beads or gari. But for now we keep the clean ones, and the ones that are not clean, we send them to the closest dumping site. If you are close to Malam Judge, we take it to Zoo Park behind Malam Market. And if we are not, so there's a dumping site, one on the Ablekuma site, there's one at Achimota. So depending on where we are working, as part of the checks before we go on the location is to be able to locate where to put the trash or where they dump the community dumps their trash, and then we take it there. And the sand, normally we find a place that is already like far away from the roadside, either a pothole road, then we fill up with the sand. But we also understand that even though we are throwing the sand away, it's also a good material that when we recycle properly, we can do a lot of things with them.
In November 1998, I promise to tell you a story. In November 1998, I was sitting on Ghana Airways on my way to London. I had been given a contract, our company at that time, to go and procure Christmas giveaways for another company that was based in airport. And it was the first time I was on a flight to London. And I just relaxed in the seat, just enjoying the fact that I was going to London. Then it struck me that the company that had sent me to London at the time was a rubbish collecting company or a refuse management company. At that time, refuse management or cleaning was not as well known and appreciated as it is now by virtue of the work that many others have done in the sector. And so as I was sitting in that vehicle, on the plane, Ghana Airways plane going to London, I thought about the fact that my first trip to London was being paid for by rubbish. So I removed the pounds from my pocket and smelled to see whether it was smelling of rubbish. And then I found out that it was not smelling of rubbish. So at that point, the scripture that came to my mind was that from Proverbs 14:23 that says that in all labor there is profit. It is mere talk that leads to poverty.
Okay.
So please, when you go somewhere and you have to quote a scripture, this is the one I want to give to you.
Yes,
that in all good work there is profit. It is mere talk that leads to poverty. So on the wings of that one, let me ask you, Hiniba, What is the happiest day in your work as Buz Stop Boys?
Well, I think that is the day when we also saw that there is the Abuafo, there is the Keep Kumasi Clean, there is the Uptown Cleaners, there is like a lot more young people doing voluntary environmental cleanup exercises. That was the day that me personally I felt happy because the whole aim or the vision is to be deliberate about telling young people that there is no point pointing fingers because 30 years from now, those you want to blame might not be there, but we will. So when I heard or see on social media, TikTok, for example, especially where there's a lot of people coming up on my FYP there, they are doing voluntary cleanup exercise. Some of them telling their story that they were inspired by the Buz Stop Boys, and that is particular day is what makes me very joyful. That at least if we stop doing it as Buz Stop Boys, there are people somewhere who have also taken up the mandate to do so.
Will you stop?
Oh, as it stands now, I'm not sure. It is something that has come to stay, and we have to make sure that we keep doing it because the environment will always be there, meaning that cleaning, being a continuous process, must always be there. For me, I always say that Canada, for example, is not clean because they swept once. It's something that they do every day. For example, the sand that is always piled up on the side of our road, if there is always consistency in cleaning, there's some high industrial pressure washer washing the streets. You drive on the road and you feel good. You get home and all your problems are far gone because the road excites you by the time you get home. You are filled with so much joy that you don't even remember your problems any longer.
I want to come back to you to ask you what Ghana you're looking for, but let me ask you, James, as we sign off, what will be your closing message to the public as they listen to Buz Stop Boys here on Springboard, your virtual university?
So first of all, I will thank you and the whole team for giving us this opportunity. My message is simple. When the last tree dies, the last man dies. But when the last man dies, the last tree, I bet you it will not die. Do you know why? Because we human beings depend on the environment. Without the environment, we human beings, we are nobody. So we should always understand that if we wake up from our beds and, we are on our way to our workplace, we have to understand that the environment is our holy home. For that reason, we have to prioritize the environment and keep it safe.
So, thank you very much, James Yao Safo. James Yao Safo. Let me come to you, Ohiniba Kojo Safo. I know that you've had music done for you. I know that your work has been celebrated in various ways, and it must be very fulfilling that music can be composed for you. You can get awards for your work. You can get the president to recognize. You can get people coming from outside the country to join you. But what is the ideal Ghana for you? What would Ghana do to make you happy?
Well, I think the best, or what Ghana would do for me to be happy, is to pay, let me say, 85% attention to the environment. As the only thing that when you take out of the equation of life, the whole concept of life becomes useless. Because we want to be seen as a great nation, and the starter is the environment. In fact, if the economy will boom or investors will come, it depends on the environment. Because I sit on social media and I see some places getting flooded, like as Ashama Spintex motorway. There's a China mall there. The whole basement got flooded. And if investors see these kind of videos, it scares them. Nobody will want to put this money where with the flash of a rain, everything will be washed away. So we should begin to put systems that will check indiscriminate behavior, places that will easily punish people who are seen littering. And on top of it all, we should understand that our topmost, our first responsibility from president to the last, or the baby who is born today, is the environment. It is the only thing that has been bestowed on us by God to make sure that it's always being kept perfect. Because like my brother began saying, imagine a very powerful man who can say appear and things will appear, but still spent 6 solid days creating this physical environment for us to come and live in. And then we say we love God, but here we are destroying the very things that He created. I'm sure you'll be a sad man if he's anywhere watching us, knowing that Kole Lagoon wasn't wasn't a dumping site, but it was a beautiful river that has now turned into more or less like a dumping site. God will be a very sad man. And for me, honestly, I think until we're able to prove that we are worthy of taking this environment to the next level in terms of cleanliness, I'm not sure we can be tickled to say we are going to heaven. Because if me as a human, if I have 2 bedrooms in East Legon, I have 2 bedrooms in say Nima. If 2 people in the Nima, 2 people living in my room in Nima, one is always creating mess in the house in Nima, and there's another person who always makes sure that the house is neat. If I have the opportunity to send somebody to East Legon, I'll definitely pick the one who is always keeping the house in Nima clean. And if I have to be God, there's no way I'll send somebody to heaven who is already destroying what I gave to him or her to take care of. So we really have to prove our love to God, not just by saying it, but by making sure that everything that was created by God, we protect it with everything inside and outside of us. That is the only way for me. I think God will be a happy man if he's out there watching as well. He'll go like, wow, these guys are really protecting what I've given to them. So let me send them to the advanced part of my creation, which is obviously heaven. So yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. And to end it all, I want to also cite this scenario. In life, everything that you do attracts something. That is why if you put sugar in my left palm, ants will come. If we decide to put more money or Kobe here, it will attract house flies. Meaning that at every point in time, if you decide to be clean, you attract a certain energy or you attract God. But it depends on if it's dirty, then you attract a certain energy, which is obviously not God-like. But if you are clean all the time, you attract that positive God mindset. Because I'm not sure God will come to a place and will be interested in saying and all of that. So we should understand that God is a clean spirit, a very positive energy that is always attracted to clean areas. And once we play that game so well, we can also get somewhere and indeed become the gateway to Africa, like Ghana has always been said to be.
You know what? Just as I wrap up, I'm just looking at you and the way you talk. You said you did comedy some time ago.
Yes.
You are you are very eloquent in the way you articulate your thoughts. So maybe you should add rap to your you must do a rap song on the environment.
I tried rap to before, but I'm far.
Santra, maybe on the way. You know what? Like, exciting time spent with you. Let me give you 5 for that one. Charlie, this is Hiniba Kujosafo and James Yaosafo. Yeah. Incredible young men, part of the army called Buz Stop Boys. You can see only 2 of them in the studio, but they represent about 170 other volunteers from various areas of endeavor: immigration officers, doctors, lawyers, nurses. What do you say you have? Everything some that have come together to make the earth that we live in a better place. And so on behalf of all our viewers and listeners on Springboard, the virtual university, let me add my voice to that of MTN Foundation and MTN Ghana and congratulate Buz Stop Boys as true heroes of change. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. And we at Springboard will celebrate you in our own small, unique way, just to give you a pat on the shoulder to say, keep doing what you are doing. And this is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and all of us here at Springboard. Our media partners, as always, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. But hey, Buz Stop Boys, God bless you. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless you.
Turn around. Turning point, yeah.